Hi, welcome back to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Individual Experience. I wanted to do this video and incorporate um, a few videos with this to explain some of the things that VSTI has been talking about for decades now. And tonight, I'm going to give you guys real proof, again, of how they're able to control not only human beings, such as myself, remote neural monitoring, and hijacking my conscious mind and subconscious mind, but also that of insects. And for many people who tend to not want to know these things, right? Because we're still living, the vast majority of people, particularly when it comes to my people, black people, European people, I should say, within the black population, they really have no idea, no clue of what's going on around them, other than their anecdotal lived experience and living experience that they're having. Okay, and so they're not prepared for what's to come. They are not prepared for what's to come. All right. So in the video that you guys are going to see, I'm going to play it after I play another video. This is from the Whitney Webb Fan Club YouTube channel. All right, but I want to talk about their the the fact that they've been able to remote control insects, animals, human beings. Okay, mammals. You know, uh, they have learned to decode the brains and and not only the biological system but the neurological system of every living thing on this planet, and they're able to manipulate it to their will. This ain't God. Science and humans have done what God couldn't do. God couldn't make the a man who was paralyzed walk again. Science have done that. Right? And as science, as those who study science at the highest level continue to improve and to develop technologies in which they hide from us, while they implement it within those who are the wealthiest of the wealthiest within the society, and they are also hush hush about it. They're not going to reveal it to us because again, it gives them a great advantage, right? And it put us as at a great disadvantage. So this is a paper from it's 2009. This is Frontiers in Integrative Neuroscience, right? Title: Remote Reader Control of Insect Flight. Okay. Introduction: Micro and nano air vehicles, right? MAV and AVs, defined as aircraft with total mass of 100 g and wingspan 15 centimeters. All right, and this is from 1999. Let's tell you how far back these things go. All right, saying 2003. All right, let's skip all that. Are the subject of intense research and development. Despite major advances, MAV and AV still present significant trade-off between payload mass, flight range, and speed. Currently, the principal limiting factors are the energy and power density of existing fuel sources and the complexity of flight dynamics in very small flyers. Insects have flight performance as measured by distance and speed versus payload and maneuverability are matched by man-made craft of similar size. Moreover, both the flight dynamics and the neurophysiology of insects are increasingly well understood. So again, look at the dates. 1996, and so forth. And this goes even back way further than that. Okay? In biology, the ability to control insect flight would be useful for studies of insect communication, mating behavior, and flight uh, energetics, and for studying the foraging behavior of insect predators such as birds, as has been done with terrestrial robots. Again, look at the date, 1989. In engineering, electronically controlled insects would be useful models for insect mimicking, MAV, NAVs. Furthermore, featherless electronical controllable insect themselves could be used as MAV, NAVs and serve as couriers to location not easily accessible to human or terrestrial robots. Flight control of insect ideally requires the triggering of flight initiation and cessation, as well as free flight adjustment of orientation with 3 degrees of freedom. These flight parameters are controlled by insect via what? Modulation of the wing movement using flight muscle. Insects inhibit two major categories of flight muscular control. Doodley 2000. Some insects, such as Odometer and Orthothera, possess synchronous flight muscle which oscillate under direct flight control with one-to-one matches between neuronal stimulus episodes and wing. Where is this at? Shoot, I hate when that happens. And wing muscle traction. Okay, so I'm not going to continue to read all this. You guys can read this yourself, but you can see as far back as 1980 something. All right, they have been experimenting on controlling insects' flight. Not also that, but they can also use that. Talk about implantation of tiny microchips. Okay, we've seen. You can go Google insects with microchip implants. So, like I said, so in the video that I'm gonna show you guys again, you'll see how they have been able to not only merge the transhumanist agenda, which is merging man with machine, but also doing it with also insects as well. Okay, or even creating lifelike robotic insects. All right, and which I'll talk when I show you the video of exactly what it is that they do to show you and to show others, right, their capabilities. All right, as I said, to show others, New York Predator Department began using their sirens. Yeah, it is my job to expose them and show exactly what these predators on the New York City Predator Department have been up to. Non-consensual human experimentation, buying technology, right? Microchips, as well as classified, highly coveted, classified weapons, and experimenting on it on American people, those within the United States, such as myself and others. Just as how Israel has been doing in Gaza with the experimentation of certain weapons against the Palestinian people, women as well as children, right? Like laser weapons and so forth. Okay. Oh, there you go. Here's they show you a see. And one of the videos on my way home, you'll see that they left a penny on the bus because they knew when I get home I was going to do this research and find this, right. And usually, like I said, this is how they They know exactly what they're doing. And I know what they're doing, so it doesn't bother me. If they're doing all of this to lead me to the truth, right? While trying to send me subliminal message that if you continue to learn the truth, that we're going to take everything from you. We're going to make you. Hey, go ahead. Because the more people wake up to what's going on, right, is the more people that we're going to have on board to stop what it is that they're doing. Okay. So you see here, this is a beetle, and you have a microcontroller, right? And this is how they can control insects. Now imagine how small a beetle is, right? Now look, they give you a better image, right? So this is the implant site where they show you how they implant the beetle. All right, brain implant, right? So you guys definitely go check this out. Oh shoot, where was I? Okay, this is from the this is from Business School, not the Whitney Webb fan club. This is from Business School. Now I want you to listen. Whitney Webb is one of the again. Like I said, I have both her books. The American Blackmail 1 and 2, right? And to me, when I talk about that women were, particularly in ancient times, black women were the wisest women of all, right? But in today's society, you have women who have really stepped up to the plate, whether they're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Arab. They have really stepped up out of the plate, and because a lot of women, I know, for example, the Tia in California, Alda Mysterioso, right? Japanese. When I talk about Japanese American, when I talk about her ability to do research and to pull and to get stuff, so she has taught me a lot, right? So though I am limited because of what has been done to me in terms of not being able to really do the kind of research that I would used to do. Like if I'm doing research or paper that I used to do, I can no longer do those things. All right. So what I've learned from her is how to pull information, right, within research papers or articles that deal with research in terms of what we as TIs go through, whether it be the psychological aspect of it or the technological aspect of it, is to scan the pages, grab the information, and the most important information, right, and being able to share that with people, right, so that they understand, and also giving them the link, right, because I never want you to be to I've never been the type of person where if I say something, I want to be able to back it up, right. You're never going to catch me in a situation where if I'm talking about something, I can back it up with facts, with proof, and with research. Okay, and that is how you become a critical thinker. That is how you become more logical. So instead of you believers will see what I just saw and will run and talking about the devil and all this other stuff, right? But me, when I see it, I record it, and I said, okay, I know that they have been working with creating these so-called lifelike miniaturized robotic insects, but also I know that they have also been experimenting with implanting microchip in insects to control them, right? So let's play a little bit of this, and then we'll do my video, part of it, not all of it, just the part I was talking about, and then I'll upload that video by itself after this one.
And it's also a big part of the WEF's push, right, was the Fourth Industrial Revolution, which is this push into transhumanism. And the so-called libertarian elites behind people like J.D. Vance and that have been really involved with the Trump administration this cycle are very overtly transhumanist and think that the only way forward is to basically merge with machines, which, in practice is not really that different. And, I really wish that more people that actually cared about liberty and civil liberties and freedom and individual sovereignty would actually pay attention to the political philosophies of people like Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin. Nick Land, who was one of the main influences on Mark Andreessen's techno-optimist manifesto. manifesto, because they're not libertarian. I mean, it's bonkers to me that people, I mean, I guess they self-define as that, but I think it's in the same, I mean, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing for them to self-define like that. And I think people haven't really looked very closely at what these people want, because, you know, in the case of someone like Yarvin, who's very close with Peter Thiel, and has influenced tremendously his political philosophy. I mean, basically, you know, and this is kind of common with how a lot of the stuff we've been talking about recently works. You know, they'll accurately talk about how the system sucks, and people are like, yeah, the system does suck, you know?
Hi there, it's Dr. Chad Walding, co-founder of Native Path.
Again.
We look at collagen differently than other supplement companies.
Accurately talk about how the system sucks, and people are like, yeah, the system does suck, you know? But then they get around to their solutions, and then, you know, when people like agree with your diagnosis of the problem, they'll be like more inclined to get on board with your solutions. So, you know, with Curtis Yarvin, it's basically about turning the U.S. into a corporate monopoly. So it's about deconstructing the existing state and the cathedral and all of that, and then once sufficiently deconstructed, you know, sufficiently, basically completely privatize the state. But in doing so, you're not going to limit or eliminate the authoritarian powers of the state. You will keep them.
Exactly. All right. So when they talk about moving to a new world order, particularly in the West, is again private corporations we know are running our government now. Okay. That's what's going on today. Elon Musk getting access to the Treasury Department, their system, Social Security, all these things. What they have done is embedded their software within the U.S. government electronic system. Right. So when I talk about the ID 2020, right, which I've learned from Catherine Fitz, as well as Whitney Webb, she talked about it also, is being able to not only track everything that we do, right, but also they can use our data to do anything. They can frame you much easier. They can plant evidence on you much easier. They can engage in nefarious actions against any one of us. So if you are a political activist, right, they can target you. They can target you. They don't have to come to your home or nothing like that. They can target you with that digital ID. All right. This is what is going on. And most people, like I said, most people have no clue of what's to come. None whatsoever. All right. Now let me get to my video because I don't want to make this too long. All right. So I'm going to play the video.
Welcome to
you got to pay attention.
brand new video of the Target.
I just read because I had
Target
my
Sprints Minister.
I had the stabilizer on. Like I said, for some reason, it
It's 11. Getting home.
So the phone moving from side to side.
They were sending me subliminal message. Sending me a transmission, I should say. Of what was it again? You know, sometimes they'll send me these messages, right? It's a telepathic message, right? They have certain look at that. That is a roach. Now, why would a roach be running after me? Look.
Right, exactly. So what it is, the insect, the roach, right? As I was walking, right, again, the hijacking of my consciousness came up from behind one of those planter box and started running towards me. So as I turned, it stopped. Roaches don't run towards you. Roaches run away from you.
Right? Look. I want you to see. Look at that. So, give you guys an example. It stops. Right? Why would a roach be running after me like that?
And because, again, I noticed it and I started recording it, it ran towards me. Then I turned, it stopped. And as I was turning to walk, then it started running behind me again. Then, as I put the phone to record it, then it stopped. Right? So it was hilarious. Right? I mean, hilarious in the sense that what it is that they do, and because they want it to be out there. That's why, because you already said they can hack into my phone, they can delete the videos. They've done this many a times. So why they didn't do it tonight? Right? Why they didn't do it tonight? Because they want people who look at my videos to see. Right? Again, and not only is it only to scare them and to make them afraid. Right? But so that they won't watch my video again. That's all. That's all this is. It's a scare tactic. But listen, I'm not scared because I know what it is that they've been doing. I've done a lot of research on these things. Like I said, I may not remember a lot of what I've researched, right? But somehow I'm able to retain certain things that are very important, all right? And I have to say that's because probably, again, just being taught how to do research in a manner that has helped me expose what's going on. Right? And as I said, do research in your parental department using the sirens.
When roaches see human beings, they run away. So when I talk about how
they've done it, they've also done it with birds, with flight of birds. I was walking with my daughter one day, and as we were walking, a flock of birds just flew right in front of us. Right? Literally, the birds came down, flew right in front of us. Birds don't do that. Right? Birds do not do that. So again, showing you guys
can control
what it is that they do.
Not just human beings, but also animals, insects with certain frequencies. That's what I'll talk about, right? And I'll make sure this is still recording.
See,
So
yeah, you hear me say that, right?
And they use roach.
You hear me say that, right? Because usually, like I said, I know that they either end the video and have me think that it's still recording, because everything should give me the indication that it is recording, which means you have like the recording timer and stuff like that, which they have done before, right? And then I go back to look at the video, and the video's not there. All right. So this is the type of stuff that they just do, that I talk about, that they engage in, the stuff that they constantly do, because because I expose what it is that they're doing. They're criminals. And they will try to criminalize those of us who they want to experiment on. So again, we are selected. We are manipulated without ever understanding and knowing what's going on. When I talk about particularly black women today and their behavior, what it is that they're saying, particularly when it comes to dating. Also, particularly when you read articles about certain states, that you see the increase in STDs, HIV, particularly amongst black men and black women. They're being controlled. They're being manipulated. Whenever you have a black economic hub in America, what comes next? Rampant STDs, the rise of HIV. And then you have black women who are sleeping now with gay men, with bisexual men. Before they would be like brothers on the door, they get angry. Not today. Not today. Today, because they want sassy men, right? So they will sleep with gay men because they think that they can make them straight. That is the mindset of a lot of these women today, of our women today. And they don't understand how they are putting themselves in harm's risk. And then they will turn around and blame the man. Right? Knowing that he is bisexual. And you look at, there's an article a few years ago about young black women on college campuses that they are preferring to be in relationship with bisexual men. Okay? Now, no other group of women is that insane to just accept something like that. But for the past decade, black women in particular have been, particularly younger black women, have been engaging in that mindset and in those type of relationships. Okay? So, talk to you guys in the next video.